speakers on the next shelf down. Press the button on the speakers. Sorry. Okay.
Alright guys, that little video clip kind of gave you a hint about what we're going to be talking about today. And flying, I wish, right? So today we are going to be scientists and we are going to be investigating how shadows can be created and how they can be changed. So I guess we'll start out with, how do you guys think shadows work? Yeah.
When the sun hits an object and it hits the object and the light cancels the object.
Good, that's very good. Does anyone else have any other ideas about it? Is what we saw in the video an example of how shadows actually behave? No, that's not. So you already said that shadows are cast by the sun hitting an object and the light doesn't go through. Does anyone else have any other predictions about how shadows are made that they want to add to that? Can you expand on it a little bit? Do you want to expand on it?
If you move an object closer, the shadow will get smaller, I think.
All right, very good. Are shadows concrete objects? Can we touch them? Can we feel them? Can we smell them? No, they're not. Does the size of a shadow depend on the size of an object, do you think?
Yeah, a little bit. No.
You think it? We got yes, no, a little
It
bit.
depends on how close and how far it is, and how big the object is.
Okay, well, very good. We are going to be looking more in depth into that during our investigation today.
Okay, so can anyone tell me what they see? What is this on the board?
Light.
A light? Okay. What do you think will happen if we place an object in between the light and the wall? Yeah?
The shadow will appear.
Okay. Can I have a volunteer? Okay, you can either bring up an object to put in the middle, or you can stand in between the light and the wall and face the wall, okay? So we'll have you come up. Okay, can you face the wall? Yeah. Okay. Who can raise their hand and tell me what is happening there? Yeah. Go ahead. No, you.
It's hitting a magazine, so her, and the light will go through, so it's casting a shadow.
Okay. So what caused the shadow to be casted onto the wall?
There's a stop.
Yep, because she's blocking the light, so her figure is appearing.
Okay, so can you tell me the three things that you need to make a shadow? Yeah?
Light, an object, and a surface for the object to appear.
Good job. Okay, so in our investigation, you can sit down now. Thank you. We'll be seeing how shadows are cast and if we are able to change the shape and the size of the shadow. And our investigative question that we're going to come back to while we're doing this is what happens to a shadow when the angle of light is changed, okay? So you guys need to keep that in mind while we're doing our exploration, okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
but first we're going to write down what we think is going to happen. So, are you all familiar with writing a prediction? You've probably written predictions for a lot of different classes, haven't you? Well, we're going to write it in a sentence frame that looks like this. It says, I think that blank because I saw blank. And you're just writing your prediction to this question. Okay?
So you're writing it about the shadows. What do you think Going back to the investigative question, what do you think will happen to the shadow, and why do you think it happened? This is a prediction, and we'll try and figure it out through our exploration.
Is there any more prediction of what you think will happen to the shadow when the light changes? So you think what happens
Do you guys understand the question?
Yeah. And when you're done, just set your pencil or pen or marker down right in front of your paper so we know you're finished.
Make sure you put your pencil down so we can tell that you're done.
Okay. Scientists investigate the world as they try to figure out the answers to their questions. And in our exploration, we're going to be scientists exploring what happens to shadows. And we're going to keep this is our important question of the day. This is the question that we are going to answer today. And we're going to keep this in mind the whole time that we're doing our exploration today, okay? And then, after we get done, we're going to be able to compare our predictions that we just wrote down to the results of our investigation.
So when we're investigating our shadows and how they can be changed, we need to make sure that we're all working together. You guys are going to be working in your table groups, or if you guys want, you can combine this one and make it. No, you don't want to combine. Well, we'll see when we get there. Okay. You're going to be working with your table groups, so you need to be working together, and we need to make sure that we're staying on task and we're having fun while we're doing it. So you're going to be working with Play-Doh and a flashlight today to do our investigation. So there are a couple of safety rules that I'm sure you guys know, but that we need to go over anyway, just to make sure we know how to handle our materials. So what is the safety rule you think that we should keep in mind when we're working with Play-Doh? Yes?
Don't eat it.
Yes, don't eat the Play-Doh. It won't taste good. It won't feel good in your stomach. I don't know if any of you have tried. Yeah, it doesn't taste great. You have another one with Play-Doh? Okay, let's hear it.
Don't touch your eyes.
Yes, let's not put it in our eyes. No eyes, mouths, nothing. We'll just keep it on the table and use it for what we need to use it for. What about the flashlight? Yes.
Don't point it in anyone's eyes.
Yes, that would not feel very good to have a flashlight being put in your eyes. These are bright. They're called LED lights. They shine very brightly. So put it in your eye. You won't be able to see for probably a few minutes. Do you have another one?
For the flashlight, don't wave it around because you could whack somebody.
Yeah, you could whack somebody, or you could accidentally shine it in someone's eyes while you're waving it around. Okay, any more ideas about our safety rules?
Water.
Don't put it in water? Yeah, that would be a really good idea. We don't have water that we're working with today, but that is a good rule to keep in mind in general. Okay.
You also have to remember on your flashlights that it creates a like a heat energy. So what would happen if you touch the front of that? Yeah, might get hot. So refrain from touching, or try not to touch the front of it, okay? We don't want any burnt fingers in here today.
Alright, so while we're doing this, we're going to be filling out this data sheet. So you're going to be drawing what you see. You're going to be drawing what you see, like the shadow that is being created, and then you're also going to use, we have some rulers we're going to pass out, and you're going to measure the height of your shadow on the board, and you're also going to measure the width of it, and then you're going to just give a short explanation for what you see. So you're going to have, go back. So you're going to get this sheet, okay, and it's going to show you the different positions that you're going to hold your flashlight at. So there's actually going to be, can you go back to that chart? So there's actually 5 positions. Position E, you're going to be able to put the flashlight, just pick one position that you haven't already done, and you can put it wherever you want to see what kind of shadow it creates, okay? So go back to that. Alright, so position A is your starting position, and then position B, you'll just move it closer. And then position C, you'll move it further away from your Play-Doh object. And then position D will be right on top of the object, okay? And don't forget position E, you can put it wherever you want to create a shadow. So now we're going to hand out... We'll help you with the first one, but we're going to hand out the materials. And then we'll kind of show you how to do it once you have your materials in your hand. Okay, can someone tell me what this is going to be? Yeah. Yeah, this is your surface that you're going to be casting your shadow on. So whenever you measure, you're going to measure from here. You're going to measure the bottom of your shadow to the top and then for the width, okay?
All you want. That one.
And you might all need to move to one side of the table. So can I have you come over to this table so there's 3 over here? Thank you.
Alright, you guys are going to have about 2 minutes to make any sort of Play-Doh figure that you want.
You do need to make sure that you
Go back to the slide before stay on Hey, can we have everyone's attention for 1 second? Hey guys, pause. Okay, these are our expectations, girls. We're going to need to stay on task while we're making the Play-Doh, so only make the Play-Doh to cast your shadow. That's not to play with, okay? Make good decisions and have fun. So let's try to keep our voice at a minimum so we can hear instructions if they need to be said, okay?
When you're making your model, you need to be sure and make it tall enough that you can cast a shadow with it. You don't want like a flat river or something because you're not really going to see the shadow. So be sure and make it tall enough that you can get a good shadow out of it.
And after you make your object, you can set it on top of your Play-Doh or your container so it raises it up on the board a little bit.
And you're going to be using this paper.
Here's our data sheets.
You guys understand?
You might all need to go on one side of the table so you can use one side of the board, okay? So why don't you move over here? Can you guys scoot over a little bit?
Trying to make a cake win.
Alright, again, you guys have about 2 minutes to make your Play-Doh figure, and then we need to get started on the investigation because you guys are going to have school in about 40 minutes. So we need to make sure that we have enough time to finish it.
All right, once you have your objects made, please just listen quietly. So,
Oh, we're doing one object as a group.
one
guys.
object, okay?
One object.
We're being a part of it.
Okay. Okay. Just making sure.
I'm just a potato. I don't know.
I like the pin.
You're just making. All right, guys, you have about 1 minute left to finish up your Play-Doh sculpture, and then you need to get started on your investigation.
Make sure you put your name and the date on your data sheet.
It's a little circle.
All right, we're all ready to go. Are you making up one sculpture?
Yeah. We're all making a part of it. It's a three-toed foot.
All right, about 30 more seconds.
I'm going to make it ice cream.
You guys almost ready?
Yeah.
All right, you guys need to put your number. Is that the one we're using?
All right, you guys need to come up with an object.
You're combining them. How are you going to combine them?
All right, it's okay. Just set it up here. Here, you want to make a snowman really quick?
All right, everyone should be done with their Play-Doh sculpture. Very good job, guys.
Here's one.
It's
You can put that with her. Here, turn it over, and that can go on the bottom.
Have you guys put it on your position?
You won't be able to see it.
You might have to make it thicker.
Okay. So use your flashlight and go through. Make sure you're looking at this paper to look at your positions, okay? Here's your positions. So position A needs to be like right here.
And the width.
Okay. So someone needs to measure. There you go.
There you go.
Let's measure in inches, okay, guys?
It's kind of looks like an ice cream cone. No, it looks like a cupcake that has something really wrong with the frosting. Yeah.
Here, put it. This is the height.
It looks like an ice cream cone.
That's a drawing.
Your drawings don't have to be perfect either. Just do little sketches.
And your drawings are supposed to show the comparison of size, okay, guys?
It's a lie. Pretty wet. It got harder with a hot dog. What? Yours is a hot dog. There's a two hot dogs.
Are we still in position A here?
Oh, it's really like
Yeah.
it kind of looks like an ice cream cone.
It kind of does. Yes, it does.
It looks like an overlay. What if you do this way?
Whenever you're ready to move on to position B, you can move on. The explanation, you just explain what the shadow
It's
is.
just a little bit closer than what you did.
On this one, you're probably not going to have a real good explanation, but on your other ones, you can say like it got bigger, or it got smaller, or it got wider, anything like that. So remember, your position A is the first. It did get bigger than the whole thing, didn't it? Than the actual object. So the shadow was bigger than the actual object. That's a good one.
What position B? Oh yeah, position B.
Yeah, position B is really
Now we go. Oh, whoa, that's right there.
So that's what you're drawing.
It's a foot long. This is position B. I know. I think it is foot long.
I got.
So this is 6.5. Make sure you draw a bigger shadow than that one.
Was it huge? It's a little. No, it looks like 6 inches. You didn't. Yeah, we have to give it over. Somebody did 5 inches. Okay, you already got it. I'm not kidding, but this is serious. Yeah, no, like for.
This will get a lot bigger.
We're doing C. Well, let's go ahead and slow down. Okay, position D.
So you can say,
Guys, let's do it there. Let's do position D.
make sure you're comparing the shadow on here. So it doesn't cast a shadow. Right there, okay? On the board, yeah.
It's like 7.5. No, I think it's 7.
How are you girls doing?
Alright, I'm gonna have to go again. Yeah.
What did you
What is happening so far? How have they changed?
They got bigger, smaller, and then they got bigger, and then it's like really small.
Like this one?
Yeah, when you get closer, it gets bigger.
Okay, make sure whenever you're doing position C, D, if you want to make sure you write that down, a shadow on here. So if it doesn't cast a shadow on this board, then you need to write that, okay?
Just like move it like this.
But it kind of looks like that chicken. Alright. So just, you can draw a blank board if you want, or you can leave it blank.
Which position are you guys on?
Now let's make it. It's dancing penguin.
Okay. Are we on D?
Yeah.
I want to see the shape. What do you think will happen when we do it?
Nothing.
Nothing. You think that shadow will stay right there?
I think it would like be only the head. Like
You
the
think
part
the
of
head
the
of the
body.
shadow will stay on there?
The head, it'll open up the body. Not much.
No,
I think nothing will stay. It's like blob. It's blob. So nothing. It's like
Which one's the biggest change so far? That one? Can you think of something in your everyday life that causes shadows?
the
And
sun.
the sun creates the what?
The light.
The light. And we create the.
And then the concrete in the road.
We are the what?
Object.
The object. And then what does it cast onto?
Like the floor. I'm setting the light in the penguin. Yes, I do.
So your position, when you get ready to go to E, you guys
To be
make
good,
up
like
whatever
this,
you
or
want.
this, or this.
Yeah?
No, but I have to do this.
Any way you want to do it.
You
That's
should
your
do
own
it like
position.
really, really I know. No, you should make it like this. Wait. What if we do it like this? Like that? I think we should do it on the angle. It's 3.5. No. How do we talk?
Is this your choice? What is your choice position? Can you tell me?
That's
Did you do an explain on C?
So, width. And the width.
Okay, that's what happened in reference to position A. Yeah. This was small.
Are you guys done now?
Perfect. So what happened from?
If you want, you can turn off the flashlight and put your light
Okay,
up.
what?
I think everyone's about wrapped up.
It's like this blob.
So I'm gonna hang out and watch you.
It looks like that.
So there's no shadow on our surface, is there? We're using this as our surface.
There's a little shadow. That's from
Yeah, and I think that's more of the shadow from right here.
Let's make a
Alright, if you guys are finished, can you turn off your flashlight and start putting your playlist away? I think all the other groups are starting to wrap up. And then we'll come collect your materials when we're done.
Make sure you just put it directly on the table.
Oh, should we have a meeting now in case we need to like review with you, like while we're going over demo?
I think it would take this away.
Alright guys, if you're done, can I collect your flashlight and some of your Play-Doh? Thank you very much. Stick them in there. Thank you, girls. Oh yeah, I got something in the board. Can I have that too, guys? Here, you guys can hold on to this.
Oh, yeah. So you had to estimate it. I see.
Like the little mini ones.
So how did you figure that out? Did you mark it right there? Oh, it's already marked? You bowlined it? Okay.
Probably would take a
Okay. If you're done, go ahead and put your plate
all the
on.
details on it.
Alright, are you done with all this stuff? Alright.
Alright, this table is done. You guys can look at your data and compare them because we're going to be talking about it in class, in the group, okay? So make sure you know like what happened while you were changing the angle
We are getting ready
of the light, okay? I will just take this stuff. You guys can discuss your data because we'll be talking about it as a class, okay?
That was a big circle. That was a big circle.
Do you guys want to discuss your data? We're going to talk about it as a class. Did you grab that one?
Yeah.
Why it changed, maybe look at the receivers.
Okay, that big circle.
You guys can go back and look at your claims and evidence and see if your data matches it. Thank you, boys. Okay. You guys can go back to your claims and evidence and see if it matches your data.
Take out all my babies. It's like this side.
Alright guys, we're going to move on to the next step. Hey, clap once if you can hear me. Okay. So, now we're going to use the observations we made and try and answer our investigative question. Can anyone tell me what our investigative question was? Yes?
What happens to a shadow when the angle of light is changed?
Good job. Okay. So we're going to share what we saw at each light position. Someone from your table will come write your observation on the board. And each group will have a different position to write about. So this will be group A, okay? So you're going to look at your position A, and one of you is going to come up here and just, whenever I say go, and write what you had in position A, okay? Group B is going to be back there, so you'll have position B, and then group C will do position C, and then group D, and then we'll talk about E as a class, okay? Alright, so position A, you want to come up here? Just one of you.
Do you bring your data sheet with you, do you think?
Do you need your data sheet? Can you reach up there? If not, you can tell me what you're writing. Which part do you like? Just write your explanation. What happened to the shadow? Uh-oh.
Are you like? Isn't it supposed to light up when you take something out or not?
Yeah, it is.
It's okay. Yeah, we can use the chalkboard. Okay. So we'll do this. That down there. You want to do it here? Let's do it here since there's nothing here. Okay, so we'll do A right here. So you're writing A. You need a bigger piece of chalk.
Yeah, there's some like
Oh, you can use that too. So when you come up here, you're just writing what happened when you shine the light on your object, okay? What it created. Can you explain what you said?
Do you want to just read it to us to let the rest of the class know what you wrote?
it says light source not in the middle of almost all the positions, so it'll be a medium-sized shadow.
All right, very good.
How about position B? You just want to read it to me and I'll write it. Okay, it'll go faster.
Since the light was closer to the sculpture, the shadow got bigger.
Okay, so the closer the light, the bigger the shadow. Does everyone agree? All right, what about position C?
The position of the flashlight was farther away, so it made the shadow smaller. Yeah, so that's there.
light source was, the smaller the shadow was. Does everyone agree with that?
Yes.
All right, what about position D?
We got really nothing because it wouldn't show up on the board.
Okay, does everyone agree that since the light was above the shadow, it didn't shine on the surface?
Yeah. Well, it did have a shadow, but it was kind of, yeah, it was only on the page.
All right, did everyone get those same results?
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have all of our observations, what do you notice? Yeah.
The closer the object where the light gets to the object, the bigger and the vice versa.
Yeah, good job. What similarities or differences do you see between the... Good.
Same thing really, because they were really just moving the light motion, the closer is harder.
Okay, you can talk with your group about observations you saw during your exploration. If you come up with any new ones, we'll share them in about 2 minutes. Okay? So talk with your groups about this data and the similarities and differences.
What are you guys talking about? What have you come up with?
Okay, what we're talking about is blah, 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 blah.
Really?
Differences?
Does that describe what you guys figured out during the experiment?
Okay.
Oh, really? Do you guys have any other ideas?
Not bigger, but smaller, but
So that was the pattern you noticed. Very good.
Okay, so did any of the groups come up with any new ideas? Any new observations that wasn't already shared? That we didn't already collect on our data sheets? Did anyone have a really interesting position E? You did? What was your position E?
ours, we put the flashlight on the side, so it was on the side of the board.
I see. So it moved the shadow from like the middle of the board to the other side? Okay. What about you?
Like, let's say this was the object, and this is the flashlight, we put it like, we're smaller than this.
Oh yeah, you shined it like from a bottom angle? I see. And what did that do to the shadow?
It's really big.
Made it really big? Did you hold it close or further away?
We didn't want it because we had it.
I see. Those are all interesting. Yeah. So now we're going to use this information that we collected on our data sheets to write a claim and evidence statement. So our sentence frame is right here. Does it look familiar?
Yes.
It does look familiar because when did we use this?
And the beginning of the lesson.
At the beginning of the lesson to make our predictions, right? Okay. The claim is our answer to the investigative question. And the evidence is what we just recorded on our record sheet, on our data sheets, okay? So it's what we saw during the investigation. What is a piece of evidence that we could use? And I'm going to have to erase this, sorry. Try it.
About to do that, but I didn't know to reset it.
Okay. Okay, so does anyone? So you have a piece of evidence that you'd like to share?
I want to do the claim.
You want to do the claim?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What's your
what is
claim?
your claim about our investigative question?
I think that the shadow will get thinner, lighter, longer, shorter, and move.
Okay, and then what was your evidence that you found during the experiment that proves that? Can you share?
Whenever we got the angle closer, it got bigger, farther, it got smaller.
Okay. Yes, exactly.
And again.
Yes, very good. Okay. Can you say it again? Okay, one more time.
Can we simplify that just a little bit? Let's simplify it. How would we say that? So we would say,
Changes the position,
I think
that using the flashlight changes the position. Instead of
Oh, wait, no. It's
oh, that didn't work?
yeah.
All right.
Not oriented.
Oh, so it's probably not gonna. Okay, so you think that moving,
that moving the position of the flashlight changes the position of the shadow.
and what was your evidence?
That I've seen all of these happen when the angle of the flashlight is changed.
Do you have a claim for us?
Yes, the saddle will change its shape a little bit according to the angle of the light and where it hits it.
Alright, repeat that one more time for her while she's writing the report.
The saddle will change its shape a little bit every time for each different angle of where the light and where the light hits it.
Its shape?
Yes.
Change its shape. Because of the angle of the flashlight. You can just draw an arrow down from
Okay, so we have the same evidence on that, right? Okay, so do we have any different claims or evidence, or does
You guys
this
think
pretty
we're
much
good?
sum up what everyone found?
Yeah. Okay, so what we observed today, scientists have a name for it, and you know, it's called casting a shadow. And what explains this is that if you guys were right, when you change the angle of the light, a shadow's size can be manipulated and changed. So you saw when you went back, it got, what happens when you move the shadow, or the light source back? The shadow got,
Smaller.
it was smaller. And then when you went to forward, it got
Bigger.
And then when you guys went to your other positions, you saw like you guys had your shadow went to the side of the board, or when you went above the shadow, there was no light at all. So just by moving the light source is how you can change the size of the shadow. So we have a couple of questions for you guys that we just want you to discuss at your table whenever I ask them, and they have to deal with our experiment. So our first question that you guys are going to talk at the table with is, what is light? Just discuss quietly amongst yourselves what light is.
I heard it.
All right, second question, guys. What is a shadow? Discuss amongst yourselves.
The shadow is kind of like
So light is a form of energy. I heard that from a couple of tables that makes things visible. So whenever the light was cast on your skin, it cast on the table, that's how we're able to see it. A shadow is a dark shape that appears on a surface when someone or something moves between the surface and the source of light, such as the object that we were, your Play-Doh sculpture that we were casting the light on during our experiment. Oh, and we didn't talk about angles, so you don't need to worry about that.
Okay, so did anyone's first claim and evidence statement end up different than the ones that we came up with just a minute ago?
The first one that you guys wrote
Your
on this paper
predictions.
right here. Did anyone's predictions change after doing the experiment or the investigation?
No? Okay, well another way we can work with angles and sunlight is making sundials, okay? We're not going to make them here because we don't really have time, but you can go outside and it's another form of telling time. But I did print out the instructions on how to make them, so you can make them at home if you want, and I'll pass those out. But right now we are going to take the test that you guys took prior to this and see if you've learned anything else, okay?
It's the
Not
exact
for
same
grade.
pre-test that you guys took. Remember when we came in a couple weeks ago and gave you a pre-test? You don't.
Oh, yes, you
you
weren't
weren't here. I don't think either were of you
Well,
were.
this is,
Were you here? Okay.
so this will be new for you, but
So once
Don't
you're
sweat
done
it.
with the
I don't
test,
care if it's not a grade.
No, it's not a grade. It's
unless
for
your
us.
teacher would like it to be for
It's for you to show us how much you learned today, so we
you can go back to your sides of the table.
You have.
Yeah, so that we can get a grade.
I think it was like R grades. Yeah. R grades.
just for advice.
All right, let's be quiet and take this.
The 13th? Yes. Okay. Everyone looks.
When you're done, flip your test over, please, so we can collect them.